Hi, and welcome to the next episode of Cooking with Wesley. Today you're actually going to get 3 recipes in one video. I'm going to be making a salmon salad, something that I can eat with my lunch as I'm on Nutrisystem. Here we've got 14.5 ounces of canned salmon, 1 stalk of finely chopped celery, 1 cup of purple onion, and we've got a 1/4 cup of finely chopped jalapenos. Word of advice: if you're chopping jalapenos, wear gloves. I found that out the hard way once, and you never forget it once you've done it once. And 3/4 cup of light mayonnaise. Now my favorite brand is Best Foods. Using it for years. They're not paying me anything, so this is not an endorsement from. It's not a paid endorsement anyway. I just like Best Foods light mayonnaise. I'm also going to be making a marinated grilled chicken thighs. Here we've got this contains the juice of 1 orange, the juice of 1 lime, and 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. We've also got the complete and total recipe will be written in the description below, but it will also be containing powdered garlic, turmeric, paprika, black pepper, and kosher salt. It doesn't have to be kosher, but if you want to use kosher, go ahead and use kosher. Oy vey. I'm also going to be making, to go with the chicken thighs, a recipe of my grandmother's, which comes from, I call it the holiest of holies. This is a collection. This book contains her favorite recipes, the ones she clipped out of magazines and newspaper articles for years while she was married to my grandpa and they were living in Stockton. Wonderful lady, excellent cook. This is for an almond celery bake. Now, when I was preparing the jalapenos, I had half a jalapeno left over. So even though that's not in my grandmother's recipe, I decided I'm going to add that half a jalapeno to the almond celery bake. 3 cups of chopped celery, 1 can of undiluted cream of celery soup, a little bit of paprika and pepper. Again, the total amounts will be written down in the description below. 1 1/2 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, some softened breadcrumbs. I'm using a Italian seasoned type of breadcrumb, just because I like to add extra flavors and seasonings to all of my dishes, and 1/4 cup of slivered almonds. Now these are all the ingredients that have been prepared, and now I am going to start cooking. First I'm going to do the salmon salad, so just give me a moment to set everything up. Okay, now, I don't know if you can see me. This recipe for the salmon salad, that comes from Nutrisystem, one of their, I suppose you could call it an annex website, The Leaf, which has all sorts of really great recipes and helpful hints to help you lose weight as you go, as you journey to your goal with Nutrisystem. Now you've got the mayonnaise, the celery, the onion, get all of that in there. I don't like to waste food. It's a sin to waste food. And jalapenos, be very careful. You don't want to touch the jalapenos with your fingers if you can all avoid it. And then just combine everything. This may take some time, and I should probably get something better to fix it with than a fork. So give me a second here as I get a nice sturdy wooden spoon to combine all of my ingredients for the salmon salad. Now the recipe was originally for tuna salad, but I was able to get a great deal on salmon salad at the grocery outlet down the street. And salmon salad comes in much larger cans. Whoop, don't worry, the counters are completely clean. I made sure to scrub everything down before I started. They come in much better, larger cans, the salmon salad than the tuna salad, the canned tuna. So I had to adjust all of the ingredients for everything, which was not, everything works out mathematically and algebraically. So yeah, in a sense, yeah, I did eventually use the algebra I learned back in high school. Okay, now I'm going to place this in the refrigerator to chill, and I will take a nice little taste of it later today after I've got everything else fixed and ready to go. Be right back. Now, once you put all the ingredients for the chicken in the bag, just toss it up, make sure everything gets good and coated before you put it in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours. Okay, now it's lunchtime, and I will be having some of the salmon salad, a V8, that's 2 servings of vegetables, and the Nutrisystem yellow rice and black beans. Okay, I'm not going to make you sit and watch me eat my entire lunch, but I just want to try this. That is good. Oh, so delicious. I got this recipe, as I mentioned, from the Nutrisystem's Annex website. They call it the Leaf, which is also where I got my recipe for the marinating chicken. I'll probably be doing a lot of recipes from that website, in addition to the recipes I inherited from my grandmother and from cookbooks from various people that I have collected. I don't have it yet, but I plan to next month buy the Julia Child cookbook, Mastering the Art of French Cooking. And anyone who knows me knows that I have a weakness for the grocery store checkout line cookbooks. I'm always buying those, and then I'm promising myself to not buy another one of those until after I have cooked at least all of the different recipes in those books. So let me finish my lunch, and when I come back, it'll be time to start cooking the celery and the chicken. See you soon. Okay, it's been 2 hours now, and it's time to start prepping the rest of my dinner. I'll first be starting with the Almond Celery Bake, which is, like I said, a recipe that my grandmother handed down. I've already got the oven preheating at 375. When that's ready, I will also be starting on the marinated chicken. Yeah, ever notice how funny it is, the things we remember sometime? I was going over one of the segments I recorded earlier, and I noticed how I had lined up all of the spices and seasonings in a nice little line, and that reminded me of a scene from, I believe it was the Thanksgiving special from my favorite web series, Where the Bears Are. It was starring, yes, sorry, I wrote it down because I wouldn't forget. It starred Brooke Dillman as Honey Garrett and Ben Zook as Nelson Dorkoff. Sorry, I had to read that off. Anyway, they were in a cooking contest for Thanksgiving dinner, and Honey Garrett was telling Nelson how she had all of her spices lined up like nice little soldiers, and as soon as I looked at that segment again, I thought, my God, I did the same thing as Honey Garrett. So anyway, let's give this a minute for the oven to preheat, and we will start getting everything else ready. Okay, now a lot of you are probably going to be missing my handsome face during this segment, but I can't have the camera pointed at me and at the food I'm preparing at the same time. Anyway, the first thing we're going to want to do is take some nonstick cooking spray to grease the interior of your casserole dish. Next, we're going to take our chopped up celery, and you'll remember I had earlier placed some, I had some leftover jalapeno that I wanted to mix in and get that nice and tossed so they're not all together. Okay. Now we're going to sprinkle the half cup of cheese. Oh, this is so good. Brings back so many memories from my childhood. Okay, now that we've done the cheese, we will put in our paprika and pepper. And next we add our can of cream of celery soup, undiluted. Try to get as much of that in there as I can, because we spend good money for food. We should get every penny's worth. Okay. Now we will be taking the breadcrumbs. This will take a little bit of time because I like to make sure everything is okay. You don't like to put it in too much at one time or it'll clump, and I don't like it when it gets all clumpy. Okay. Okay. And yes, my hands are clean, so this is okay. Ooh. Now we will cover this and cook it at 375 degrees for 45 minutes. Okay, it's 45 minutes later and oh, that smells so good. We're going to sprinkle the almond slivers, or the slivered almonds, whatever you want to call that. And now it goes back into the oven, uncovered, for another 15 minutes. And now we will be going on to the marinated chicken. Oh, there we go. I should have gotten that out sooner. 1 minute. Now we're spraying the. I'm using PAM olive oil nonstick spray. Now we'll turn the burner up. Let's take it to. I don't want to go to high because that'll sear the meat. It'll burn before it cooks. So I'm going to go and leave it on, put it on 8. Now let me get I need this here. And as soon as the pan has reached the proper cooking point, we will begin fixing the chicken. Okay, we are now going to start the chicken. You may have to do this in batches depending on how big your pan is. Oh, this smells so good already. Now, you're going to want to cook it for about 5 minutes on each side. And then transfer it to the plate so that we will be able to cook the remaining pieces of chicken. Always remember, I have it set at 7, if the oils or fats or whatever it is you're using to cook the chicken in, or any meat really, starts to get a little too evaporated, you can always add more. I'm going to add a little bit of butter to the chicken as it cooks. Now I will be back when the last of the chicken has been finished. Okay, everything is finally done, and believe me when I say I wish you could smell this. Everything just smells so absolutely fantastic. I'll put it on my plate now and have my dinner. So just give me one more minute to get everything ready. Okay, everything is ready now. I've got my chicken, I've got my almond celery bake, and tonight's Nutrisystem entree is the macaroni and cheese with turkey sausage. Let me see if I can set this up so you can see me enjoying it. Okay, I'm not going to make you watch me eat the whole thing, but you know, here's the chicken. Yeah, it was a good idea that I had. I added a little extra cumin to it. Give it a little bit more of a kick. And the almond celery bake smells really good. Oh my God, the taste is just as wonderful as I remember when my grandma would make it. And of course the mac and cheese from Nutrisystem, very good. I really recommend it. If any of you are thinking about Nutrisystem, you don't have to sign up for the whole plan right away. You can always order a few of the items a la carte, just to sample them to see if you like them, and then later on you can sign up as a sign up for the whole program. If you do, I am going to ask that you use me as a referral. That way I get a little discount on my next order, and they don't charge you any extra. They'll charge you the same amount when you sign up if you use me as a referral or not. But I remember I recommended this to a friend of mine who is no longer a friend, and he said, well, why should I do this for you? Or they're just going to charge me extra? And I said, no, they won't. And for some reason he didn't believe me. Some people are so convinced the world is out to get them that they don't want to do anything. So anyway, that was the food I made tonight. I made the easy, zesty, spicy salmon salad earlier. I've got the marinated chicken, the almond celery bake, and to go with it, the Nutrisystem's mac and cheese with turkey sausage. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you look forward to my next video as much as I'm looking forward to making it. Talk to you later. Eat and enjoy.